Hello, this is Jack's Cowboys. Got my first Super Bowl 5-time champions shirt, and it has first Super Bowl win against Miami, Denver, Super Bowls in the Rose Bowl against the two Buffalo wins. Finally, the Super Bowl 30 win versus Pittsburgh. And got a few things to talk about here. Dallas won Kansas City Chiefs 26-20. With throwback uniforms, the Cowboys had plain white helmets and a solid star. Of course, their white uniforms with stars on the shoulders. Kansas City wore their former team's uniforms, the Dallas Texans, with the state of Texas on their helmets. It was the old AFL and old NFL uniforms. It turned into a close game. That wasn't expected. I couldn't watch the game because it wasn't broadcast in my area or on my satellite, who had the Giants game. So I had to read the play-by-play on NFL.com and watch updates on the NFL channel. The first game this year I couldn't view in the regular season. Kansas City played desperately for a win with new coach Todd Haley, who was with Dallas a few years ago, and the new quarterback Matt Castle. It was the third week against the NFC East team, and they played at their best. I left to work out before the game and was over, so I pretty much figured the Chiefs were going to win after getting the ball back in overtime after a drive that Dallas couldn't convert on third down. So I figured that Chiefs were going to win, so I went to work out, and we were going to be 2-3 most likely, with Kansas City getting the ball back. And I accepted the feeling of being 2-3 even, setting my mind to figure out how to try to get this team back into it, but gladly I didn't have to. And I was pretty happy to come home and see the 26-20 with the 26 score above the Cowboys side on the NFL Net website. I was not knowing for 3 hours. The win made me feel even more ecstatic. It will be even better feeling going into Dallas with that 3-2 record. Okay, Tony Romo had a great game with 351 yards passing, which is one of his highest. He had his highest earlier this season, and this one ranks up to about the same as what that one was. He has over 11,000 yards passing, 840 something completions, and 82 touchdowns in 43 games, which is more than both ex-Cowboys Hall of Famers Troy Aikman and Roger Staubach had in their 43 first games. He says this team will be putting everything together, and once that happens, we'll be a pretty hard team to beat. I think he means that when everything starts coming together in the passing game and we start avoiding penalties and turnovers more, we'll win more. Not giving these games away, instead controlling the games and not killing ourselves with the mistakes. So Miles Austin was the player of this game with 251 yards. It's the most ever by a Dallas receiver beating Bullet Bob's Hayes team record. Amazing catches for touchdowns. I seen the highlights. It should be on NFL Network this week, and that's when I should be able to watch the whole game. And everybody else, just kind of check what the schedule is on NFL Network. That should be one of the replays. Amazing catches for touchdowns, and one had 51 yards that brought him back into the game, and one for 60 in overtime. Amazing catches. He took it right out of the defender's hands. That was a sure interception on one of them. Just breaking tackles and accelerating to the end zone with others. He is the third receiver, but I think he should be the second after this game with his explosiveness that we need. Most likely be on the reverse side of Roy Williams, but I think they'll work him in there where they got all three receivers, Creighton, Williams, and Miles Austin on the field. With Brookings, he's very compassionate and said this was a desperate game to win. He said we'll not panic, but the situation is desperate before this game. He had one sack, and DeMarcus Ware had two on this one. He had 18 tackles, 3 pressures, and 1 sack. Most importantly, he was a vocal leader on the Dallas defense that he needed. He was up and down the sidelines. Wade even said he was everywhere around where the ball was, and you could see he was in everybody's faces, getting everybody motivated. Atlanta sure missed out on him, even though he's a little bit older. He's a game changer, game leader. He's a really good pickup that they say that Zach Thomas wasn't, that the Cowboys were looking for. And leadership really evolved in this game. I have to mention Ratliff in this with that blocked field goal. That he was a real leader on this team, also blocking that field goal with Oshansky, and they said Oshansky and Marcus Spears got quite a push on there to block that one field goal that changed game. Okay, and these people got the team fired up. Witten, Brookings, and Romo all gotten on the players' cases when they were down. Brookings was yelling at people, and Witten was highly emotional and vocal and fired up everyone. In an interview I was watching, Austin said Jason Witten is a leader and encouraged everyone to win, including he was yelling at the whole offensive line, the quarterbacks and receivers, just motivating everybody on the sidelines when we were behind. He was all fired up, yelling at everyone, including Matt McBride, the punter. He was yelling at him because he was holding he was the holder for the missed field goal. So the Cowboys are putting it together, and the players and the leadership. We need to win with Romo, Witten, Austin, Choice. On defense, there's Ratliff and Brookings and Ware. This is an important game for Cowboys finding their identity this season, playing with a lot of heart and emotion to pull this one out. Rashard Choice was the most durable player. Vocal. He wanted to win bad when the offense was put the game on a defense. Choice said to DeMarcus Ware, it's on you to fire up Ware. He's a steady back that can be relied on in desperate situations. His team needs him to win, and they're talking on the Cowboys radio that speculating they might that no way they should trade him, but he's worth like a second round pick. Okay, next game, traveling to after the bye week next week. It's against the Atlanta Falcons, so I'll be there to cheer on the Cowboys and win them Falcons at the new stadium. For me and everybody else, be cheering them on.